Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to My Weekly Meltdown. Am I in the mic good? Because I had, okay, it sure does it. Anyway, welcome to My Weekly Meltdown. This is one of many special My Weekly Meltdown 10 anniversary shows. This is part one or number one. I don't know how to word it. I just said anniversary special part uno. That's one, right? In Spanish, uno, dos. Okay. So I do that right. Anyway, so with me is Tyler and Rory. Hello. Rory's been with us off and on for what, about 4 years, 5 years?
Oh God.
Oh
God, when was challenge part insert season? I don't even remember now. Because that was
what was your first show, Rory?
Do you remember?
It was challenge coverage, and I had never watched the challenge before.
Was it Double Agents?
Oh God, I know I
should have looked that up.
Episode on podcasts, but I literally don't even remember off the top of my head which one it was. Good Lord.
I'm gonna look it up. And Tyler, who has been with us since 2018, what is that? Wow. 7 years?
Yeah.
First show, Big Brother Canada, and I've been here since the beginning.
I think my first show was actually Survivor David versus Goliath, if I remember correctly.
It might have been that, and then we started doing Big Brother Canada. That's when all that came up. Yeah, that's right. Because I went back and looked at the first video you were in from Big Brother Canada, and I just said, and this is Tyler, and I thought, wow, what a shitty introduction for the first show this guy's on. I mean, I really was like, this can't be his first show.
This is Tyler.
This is Tyler.
This is just Tyler.
This is Tyler. This is Rory. I'm here. We're all here. So yeah, this is. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Was that me or what was that? Is that Sora?
Yes.
Listen, Tyler, if you don't start smiling, I'm gonna reach through the computer like a fucking Matrix.
All I'm doing is smiling right now. If I smile anymore, it's going to look creepy.
Just be creepy. You are creepy. We're all creepy. That's why we're here.
True.
So, yeah, I really put a lot of thought into this. But anyway, so I thought it was funny. I've been kicking around the idea of watching old shows because there are a lot of when I started doing this in August in 2015, there were two types of shows. You had a podcast and a vlog. Vlogging somewhere between 2015 and 2025 ceased to exist, and it is now just podcasting. So you can have a YouTube channel, and that's it, and you're a podcaster. So
I feel like vlogging really isn't like a thing anymore. Like it feels more like millennial cringe than anything now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's it was a thing 10 years ago and before, but it's really not now. So it's kind of funny. I was thinking about that, man. I used to hashtag vlog, and I used to say, you can watch my vlog, here, and I used to say vlog all the time. And now I can't remember the last time I said it until today. Back when I shot back in 2009, I went to the movies with my husband, and I thought, I really want to just review this movie we watched. How would I do that?
What movie was it?
I think it was I think it's called The Cabin in the Woods, but it's definitely, we're about to watch it, and not the movie, but the review. It's only a few minutes long. And he's like, well, why don't you do it? And I go, well, how do I do it? And I had a little Canon point and shoot little digital camera. And I had set it up on a stack of books, and you didn't have selfie mode. Okay. So I had no idea what I looked like while I was The lighting's terrible. It was in my living room. I had no concept of lighting, and I should have, because I've been in acting and stage for so. I should have known to do, but like I said, I didn't think about it. It was late. I just wanted to do it. My husband's like, "Well, let's set it up. We'll do it." I have a. He's like, "We'll just we'll put it on YouTube." I thought, "Oh, okay. What's YouTube?" I didn't really know what YouTube was. YouTube in 2009 was where I went to watch funny cat videos with my son. I didn't watch reviews. I didn't listen to any of that. It wasn't a thing, really. It was just YouTube. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, it was just YouTube, and
I'm looking up like viral videos from 2009. Like we had like Friday by Rebecca Black. We had The Evolution of Dance. We had that like the cat like playing the piano, if you remember that.
Oh my
God. We had Charlie Bit Me. All of these are 2009.
Pinky the Cat. You should look up Pinky the Cat. That's a real good one. That was probably the first video that I watched on YouTube that was a big thing. 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Look it up. I'm not going any further into that.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I got tricked into watching that back in the day. I was at work. I was a receptionist for this computer. Hey, listen, come here and watch this. I'm in there. My friend, everybody's in Shannon's. He pulls up, watch this video, and everyone just stands back and watches me watch this video. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? That is disgusting. That's not soft serve ice cream. Don't lie to me.
Did you see the sequel?
No, I didn't see the sequel, and I'm okay that I've lived my life for the last 20 years knowing that there was not a sequel.
Have you heard of
okay?
Have you heard of Blue Waffle?
No. What is a blue waffle?
Look it up on your own time later. It's equally as disgusting as 2 Girls, 1 Cup. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so let us saying, this is just going to the abyss of, but I just posted, like, I just did this review and never thought about it again. I just we put it on uploaded it to his little YouTube, and that was under his handle. And I was going by my email, because my email is Memphis Darling. I've been the Memphis Darling of Memphis for 25 years. So, fun fact, I was on a morning radio show. I don't know if I ever told you guys this story. Back in 2000, there was a morning radio show, and I was the lonely girl. And they checked in with, I was single at the time, and they checked in with me once a week, and it was a bit. And I would talk about how lonely I was. And there was a hotline that these guys you would call, and I could pick a guy to go on a date with. And this was sponsored by the radio station.
How have I never heard this before?
I don't know how I've never told you. I got it from my acting, from this was like a thing. They're just looking for some talent, and you like that kind of stuff. So do you want to try? I called him up, never met him in person. And I think I got paid $50 or something. Like, it was nothing, but that was 2000. But I did that for a few months. And I realized, I kind of like, doing the radio and stuff like that. I never got to listen to myself on the radio. I never got to hear it or anything. I was on the website, but I wasn't on the website because they didn't want to show what I looked like. It was kind of going off sound, you know what I'm saying? Like sound and stuff. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what the point was of me telling you that, but it was I did do that. I interviewed some bands, some local indie bands. I interviewed this band called 80 Katie, which was really cool in downtown Memphis, and it was named after tricks that jets do. It's called an 80 Katie. Anyway, this has gone on a little too long. So I got into that, and we did this video, and I never thought about it again, ever. And I'm kind of wishing I hadn't. I'm just going to play it. I'm probably going to pause it every few seconds to make a comment. So just deal with it. Okay.
I'm ready.
I don't care. Let's see here. Let me pull it up. And Tyler, you've seen this, right? Have you seen this?
I think so.
Okay.
The screenshots looks familiar.
Okay, and I just want to point out, I watched it the other day, and all I can say is I'm already talking about my stomach issues in the first 2 seconds of this fucking video. If you guys think that I have been shy about talking about my bowel movements ever, this should
I don't
give
think
you
anybody
great.
thinks that.
Yeah, seriously. So let me pull this. It's gonna take me 20 minutes. Oh, this is something. Y'all are in for it.
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, so do we like the setting? Do we want to be on the side of this video? So we're good with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, all right, guys. I've even got a slate.
Hey, at least you did it on the first take.
Baby, I had no. Okay, other fun fact. You have no idea how many times I stopped and started this shit. Okay.
Deception.
All right, yes, here we go.
Memphis review with Memphis Darling, take 5. Hopefully this will be the last one.
Take 5.
My stomach hurts. Hello, I am the Memphis Darling, and I'm coming to you from Memphis, Tennessee with my first ever movie review. I have taken the initiative to start voicing my opinions outside of typing to speaking. I hope you enjoy it. This is my first time, and if you don't like it, I highly doubt your first time was as great as you think it was. Anyway, I'm reviewing a movie called The Last House on the Left, horror film, remake of the 1972 movie of the same name, directed by Wes Craven. This film is directed by Dennis Iliad. Don't know anything else he's directed that doesn't sound foreign, and I don't speak foreign, so I can't pronounce it. Anyway, it's a horror film. It's rated R, 1 hour, 49 minutes. If you're into torture, going nuts, stabbing people with hammers and pretty much anything else, you'll love it. It was a really good movie. I would see it during a matinee. I would not pay full price to go see this at night. Do you hear me? I would not pay $9 to sit through this at night.
Can I say something really quick? $9 to see a movie at night in 2009.
Wow.
Well, how much does it cost now? Like
that's
50?
I'm looking right now. Oh my god.
I think it's 14. I have no idea. I should know, but I don't. But anyway, yeah, I still have that hat, by the way. But yeah.
However, to see it in the afternoon, I would definitely rent it if you don't want to see a matinee. But when you think about it, in the end, a matinee really does equal how much it would be to rent it from Blockbuster or whatever. Anyway, good movie. Has some faces you might recognize in it. Tony Goldwyn plays the father in the film of one of the young girls that is tortured. He was in Ghost. He played Patrick Swayze's best friend in the film. And he also is a director as well. He directed A Walk on the Moon, 1999 film starring Diane Lane and Viggo Mortensen. May have heard of it, may not. Rent it, it's good. Spencer Clark is in it. He was the little boy from Gladiator. He was Lucius. He was also Bruce Willis' son in the M. Night Shyamalan movie, Unbreakable. Anyway, Garrett Dillahunt is the main villain in the film. He is in the Sarah Connor Chronicles, the Terminator series on Fox, which is probably really.
I just want to go on the record right now and say the Sarah Connor Chronicles that was on Fox. It was a prequel series of Sarah Connor from the Terminator. That was one of the best shows on TV in 2009, and it got freaking canceled.
I've never
as
heard
a
of
lot
it.
of good stuff does. Of course,
I mean, and like I was really upset that it got canceled. I'm so disappointed in myself for not setting my little point and shoot cannon back up again and going off about that with my little high pitched mousy voice.
Okay. That's my first takeaway here is like, I feel like your voice is like a whole octave higher 10 years ago than it is now. Like, did you suck helium before hitting record?
I snorted helium before this show. I don't know what I was doing. I even sound different in the next video that we're gonna watch. I don't know what happened.
The evolution of Allison's voice.
I cannot ever think of a time I ever sounded like this. I'm like, is this what I sounded like? Because I don't know why do I sound like watch it or don't? Go to Blockbuster. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm so disenchanted with myself. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this fucking movie review over this movie. It's got all these. I'm not even going to talk about the movie. I'm just going to talk about the actors in it and torture. And if you're into that torture stuff and a hammer, and I'm just irritated because I just took a shit before I did this video. I'm so annoyed with even having to do this video. It seems like I'm pissed. I'm just doing my head around like, do what you want, watch it or don't. Go to Blockbuster, go to Netflix online or Blockbuster's online and stuff. I don't care.
Like close to being canceled, so you might want to catch that while you can. And he was in the Assassination of Jesse James. Anyway, if you're anything like me, when you see a movie, you see these people, and you're like, where the hell have I seen these people before? Now you know. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I want to say that twice.
Anyway, good movie. Liked it. Of course, I enjoy movies where people are being murdered and stabbed to death when I've had a shitty week. So if you've had a shitty week, go see it. It'll make you feel better telling somebody else. Great movie. Really good. Never seen the original. I'm interested in seeing the original now. It was made in the 70s. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be twice as perverse and gross and more violent. So I'm excited about that. Yes. Anyway, this has been a review with the Memphis Darling. Hopefully it was to the point. You'll like it. You might not. I don't know. Like I said, it's my first time. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Sometimes.
Yes.
And hope you enjoyed it. See you next week where I will be reviewing I Love You, Man.
That never happened.
I was going to say, was there actually a next week?
There wasn't a follow-up.
New movies on DVD that as well. So if you're interested in independent films or there's anything you're interested in seeing, please comment, let me know, and I'll let you know if it sucks or not. That's about it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week. Thank you.
I have to get up and turn the damn thing off. I was using that as a smoke. Oh, shit. Nope, not yet. So. Oh, God. Okay, yes. So this is the real jackpot right here. As you can see, man, I had good nails back then. There's a lot going on. As you can tell.
Hold on. Yeah. I love the design choice of having white text on top of a white photo and a blown out.
Oh, there's a lot of choices. There's a lot of choices going on.
The Weekly Melt with Allie.
It's actually the Weekly Me with Allie.
The Weekly Me
with Allie. Like, you know, I am very loyal to this app called Video Shop, and I have been using it for 10 years. Now, I have kissed the special sound effects you're about to hear goodbye. I don't use them anymore. I maybe abuse the music every once in a while with my cat videos, but I don't do this anymore. I also don't have nails anymore. I also, the eyebrows are very different. They're actually kind of real now. That I don't even, the grouch, this is going to be, this is painful for me. Because first of all, I shot this in my car on my lunch break. I worked on this all morning at work. I printed out these little printouts because I didn't really know how to do because what you're seeing, the Weekly Meltdown font, this was added later. This was not originally here. I actually redid that part. Okay. So the original video, everything's the same. Nothing has been changed except that. Okay. Because why the fuck would I have the font on there and the printout? It doesn't make any damn sense. But then again, this is me, white font in the car. It seemed legit, and it's in mirror mode and it's backwards. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. I taught myself everything there is to know about making videos and YouTubing. Nobody taught me anything. Okay. And I got my mom and my husband, oh, you did such a good job. And then my son at the time, who's 17, goes, why is it backwards? I don't know, Jacob. Why don't you watch it in a mirror?
Oh, good idea.
Yeah. So just a little backstory. Up until this point, I had been on a actual podcast. It was not a YouTube video. It was a podcast. And it was, I had an alter ego, not an alter ego. I had a stage name. It was Kitty Litter. Okay. My nickname was Kitty Litter. I was like the third part of a trio. And it was mainly these two guys. It was the Beard, Marty Ray, and his brother Jordan had this Mem Nash radio. It's MEMNASH. It is exactly sounds the way it's spelled, the way it's Mem Nash radio. And Marty Ray is a phenomenal musician. And
are they still podcasting or like doing any?
No, Marty Ray has moved on. Marty Ray did a concert with Vanilla Ice. Okay.
That's when you made it big.
Yeah, he did an acoustic version of Ice Ice Baby on YouTube. It went viral. And Vanilla Ice flew him to Florida and had him come on the stage and do the song with him. But Marty Ray, the Marty Ray Project, look up the Marty Ray Project. He is an amazing musician and performer. And he got me into podcast. He introduced me to podcasting. We did this show for a year and a half, Mem Nash Radio, with him and his brother. I went to film festivals in Nashville. I went to Comic-Cons. I interviewed people who had never worn deodorant a day in their life at these things. I know what it's like to be at a non-alcoholic rave surrounded by virgins, and it's not a high school event. I mean, and I'm not shitting on Comic-Con. I love Comic-Cons. It's amazing. These people are I love it. And like I said, I'm not shitting on it, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but when you know these people, you know what I'm saying?
No, it stinks in there. I will be offensive and say that I've been to a few Comic-Cons and anime cons and stuff like that.
And Tyler, I'm 4'11", so I'm in everyone's pits.
Yeah.
You're
in the splash zone.
I'm smelling it. And I've had to back up a couple of times, and I wish I could find those, but he took all the videos down, and I bring it up because there's me interviewing people, and I had to keep straight faces, because when we did make videos, I had to keep a straight face when I was interviewing these people, asking Star Trekkers about Star Wars, which is a big no-no, and it pisses them off. And I had to keep a straight face, and I had to ask people the most asinine questions. It was crazy. I don't even know. I wish I could show some of this stuff, but and we did skits. So anyway, I decided, my friend Amar talked me into, he's like, girl, you need to get back into doing this. It's been a year and a half. Why aren't you doing anything? Get on YouTube, make videos, and just throw it up there. I'm like, well, the first time I did it, didn't really go over too well. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? So I sent him the link to the video we just watched. Okay. And he's like, well, Allison, first of all, it's like, this was 2000, this was like 6 years ago. Why don't you just try it again? It's like, all right. So I printed out these printouts for My Weekly Meltdown. And some people have asked me, how did you come up with the name My Weekly Meltdown? And that came up from a voicemail. Have I ever told y'all this story?
I don't think so.
if I was really upset and I called my husband and I was like, you need to call me right now. Please call me, guys. I'm having a meltdown. And I used to say that all the time, like, I'm having a meltdown. Call me. But it was so funny because I would just act like I'm having a meltdown. And then on calmly, I would say, call me. So it was always a joke, like, oh, fuck, what's the melt? What is going on? What do you mean having a meltdown? So, and then I would joke, okay, I was having a meltdown earlier, but since you didn't call me back, it has now downgraded to a breakdown. And so it's, and then the break is just I'm just being neurotic because no one wants to talk to me. But anyway, so, because I'm paranoid. Anyway, so that's how I got my weekly meltdown, because I'm having a meltdown every week. If you know me, you know why.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So, okay, let's just dive. We're diving in. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Okay, also, I want to point out I have extensions. Okay, I have fake nails, extensions. I used to wear way too much makeup. And yes, I painted my effing eyebrows on. Leave me alone. I was not surrounded by people who loved me enough to tell me to get my shit together on my face.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
Hello everyone, my name is Allison S. Kelly, and this is my first ever video vlog. It is called My Weekly Meltdown. And this is how high-tech and amateur I am right now. Everything's on printouts. So, just think it can only go up from here.
Oh, that's what you think.
The point of this blog, I'm going to make it short and sweet because I hate it when people ramble on about nothing. Basically, my weekly meltdown is about TVs, movies, some subject matters I deem important. I will cut these little
Look at that
segments
baby face
down into mini breakdowns.
You can't read
so you have the big weekly meltdown with your itty bitty little daily breakdowns. So
Never did that.
I'm a huge TV and movie fanatic. I will be covering a lot of stuff, probably more TV than movies, because let's face it, there's more TV shows than there are real good movies right now, but I will cover the movies. Don't worry. This is my email address, memphisdarling@gmail.com. There is no period in between Memphis and Darling. It's just memphisdarling@gmail.com.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
You don't know how many times I've had to explain that to people. memphisdarling@gmail.com. There's no period anywhere. There's nothing. It got so bad. It was memphisdarling@gmail.com. And people were like, so how do you spell that again? And it got to where people were like, Memphis DOT darling. And I'm like, no, there's no dot. And they're like, you said there's no dot. And I go, there's no dot. Why are you spelling dot?
I'm just picturing you in like the checkout lane for like a store. There's like a huge line and like they're asking for your email. And you're like, no, the Memphis no dot, Memphis Darling @gmail.
And there's a G on the end of darling.
And I'm just in line like, oh my God.
Yeah, you would not, I don't know if it's the people down here, but I actually took over the memphisdarling@gmail.com because people were sending email and it was bad. I said, I might as well create that. But yeah, it's like, there's no dot, there's no period. It's just Memphis Darling. It's how it sounds. It's just spelled the way it sounds. It's Memphis Darling. Memphis Darling. It's like one long word. And I'm so put out and exhausted with doing this video. I'm put out. I'm already put out a minute 15 into this video. I'm having to make this video because people are going to have to watch me and I have to do this and I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm taking it out on the camera. It's such an attitude problem.
Want me to cover a movie, a TV show, or anything that you're interested in, just shoot me an email and put it in the subject line and I will read it and get back with you as soon as I can. For some of you that know me, I am a podcaster. I was formerly Kitty Litter on Mimnash Radio and the Princess
aka Allison S. Kelly, on Verbal Justice. Both great
Verbal
podcasts.
Justice.
You can still find Verbal Justice on iTunes. Mim Nash Radio, unfortunately, the guy who created it decided to take it down. Big mistake, in my opinion. I think this is a great opportunity. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I'm really excited about it. I want to entertain people. I'm a former actress. I've kind of since retired, and now I've kind of shot head first, face first into the ground with this. I'm really excited about it. I also will have a podcast on the horizon before the end of the year. Right now it is called All Is On, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to change it to My Weekly Meltdown.
Okay, hold on a second. I got to address listen. Okay, first of all, I did have another show I totally forgot about called Verbal Justice. Okay, to me that was an epic name back in 2013. Okay, we covered The Walking Dead, and that's all we talked about was The Walking Dead. And we were so amateur, we had a blue ball. And if you know what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about blue balls. It was a blue ball microphone where you would sit it in the middle of the table, and it had multiple little mics on it. And like the mic that you would pick you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's how we did the Verbal Justice. And we had we talked about The Walking Dead. We sometimes did random shows, but back then in like 2013, I had to go to this guy's house, and it was me and these two other guys, and I'm not giving them any more fucking airtime on my show now because they can eat a dick. I hate these two guys so much. Anyway, fired me from my own fucking podcast that I created. Who does that? I got fired from my own show. That's a whole show within itself. And that's because one of the guys, I'd known these guys for 1998 to 2003. Was that 15 years? And one of them, we went on a date, and I just didn't think it worked out. And that changed the whole dynamic. And then the other guy just all of a sudden had, he could dish it out, but he couldn't take it. I guess I'm too much for some people. Okay. And, some people just can't take it. And instead of being honest about it, came up with all these reasons not to do shows with me. And then they can't, they said, well, we're not doing this anymore, blah, blah, blah. And it broke my heart. It really did. 'Cause I knew I was being lied to. Okay. And they started another podcast. And let me tell you something, that lasted 2 seconds because they didn't have me going, we need to do a show this week, guys. We need, they didn't have me being bossy, trying to boss everyone around. I'm sorry. Do you want to have a gosh damn podcast or not? Do you want to have an audience or not? We're not doing it for the reasons you're doing it. And what reason am I doing it? I'm entertaining people. I am not sitting here going, oh, it's not worth it if I don't have so many likes and follow. It was not about that at all. And it just goes to show that, you can know people, but not really know them, if you know what I mean. And they don't stop doing stuff, which was really sad because I really enjoyed those two people. I really did. And I thought they were really close friends of mine. Anyway, Verbal Justice, it was fun. It was a great name. I'd like to bring it. Why not? Just bring back the Verbal Justice. It should have been Verbal Injustice after that rant. Also, this was originally called the All Is On podcast. I changed it to My Weekly Meltdown. And if you know, you know, All Is On spells Allison. Allison. And I thought it was a cool, because I'm always on and Allison's on. Oh my God, not the multiple camera. Rory. That's right. This could be welcome to All Is On with Allison. This could have been a alternate. This is my co-host Tyler on All Is On podcast.
I like My Weekly Meltdown better. I think right decisions were made.
Yeah. Look, it's a crapshoot. You gotta learn somewhere.
Yeah, I am. I'm really excited about this. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Again, email me, memphisdarling@gmail.com. I can talk about a movie that you want my opinion on, a TV show, a certain subject matter. Let's not go PC. I don't feel like talking about politics or anything. There's enough of that going on. I will have my little rants every once in a while. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch this. All right, everyone have a great day.
So, we're not going to do that. Oh, wait.
Hello, guys. It's me, Allison, and welcome to My Weekly Meltdown. Tonight, guys, this isn't about a TV show. This isn't about anything film or TV related. Tonight, it's about social media, Facebook relationship bullshit.
I call it relationship.
We all have our woes in the relationship department. But there just comes a time when you really need to keep that shit to yourself. Ladies, I'm talking to you, ladies.
Ladies.
Not female bashing or anything, but it seems to be only the ladies that I see doing this. And I kind of feel like I'm insulting real ladies by even calling them ladies. But that's not the point. You get it.
Okay, can I point out something real quick? Can I point out something? I had a clicker, okay? And everybody's like, what's the clicker? The clicker became a staple like Finley of my show. And you hear it in later shows. And we won't want after this one. But I got this clicker and I could remotely pause my show, the recording, and start it right back. And it saved me time on editing. So these I got into jump cutting. This is jump cut. They call it jump cutting. You jump cut. And I would use the clicker and I didn't realize you could freaking hear it. So if you listen, you can hear it. And it got so bad, like the first or second seasons of Big Brother that I got, it was like, if people who were in the chat didn't hear the clicker, they'd be like, dude, where's the clicker? I had a funeral for the clicker because my Finley knocked it off the counter and it busted. And I had a funeral for it. I had it on the show in a little tissue box. I got to find that. But yeah, the clicker died. The clicker died. It was terrible. But yeah, I don't know where this came from. Relationships. Part 1. There was never a part 2. I'm sad. There's this a lot. There's never a part 2.
I'm seeing a trend.
There will be hopefully a part 2 of this, but there's not a lot of, but I really don't know what this look is on my face. Also, I'm feeling my Reese Witherspoon vibes really strong in this video. The big ET eyes that we both share. So hold on.
Everyone's relationship sucks at some time in the relationship. Yes, I called it a relationship. Because there is always a time when your relationship ceases to be a real relationship. It has crossed a boundary. It is no longer something that will blossom into a possible engagement and marriage and children. It hits a roadblock.
I was mad at my husband at the time when I made this, by the way.
Relationship into relationship. Dude, do you know how many times I've been scrolling through Facebook and I've had to read the following? Oh my God. I just went through his phone and found out that he was trying to hook up with another chick again. Let's analyze this, sweetheart. First of all, why are you trolling his phone? Again is something that happens repeatedly.
Why are you in the camera so
Do I need to post the definition? You're having to do this, your relationship is dead. You're officially in a relationship. Here's the thing. You know you're in a relationship when your girl is trolling your phone and you're breaking out into a cold sweat thinking, I really hope that I deleted that Facebook conversation between that chick and I about how much my girlfriend sucks. Or you got friends in your text messages that are under aliases. Danielle is really Dan. Stephanie is really Steve. Joanne is really Jonathan. Get the gist. If you gotta hide anything,
let me tell you something. That is so fucking true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When people like lie, like your friend, like you've got a same-sex friend and you don't want your husband or whoever, you know, Steven is Stephanie all of a sudden. You know what I mean? That is such a that is still a thing. That's still a thing. Okay.
You're not in a relationship. You're in a relation shit. Can't make it any more blunt than that. A cheater is always gonna cheat. A liar is always gonna lie. Don't be a savior. You can't save people from themselves. For God's sake, don't be a fixer. I mean, seriously, nobody wins in a fixer situation. He was treated really bad as a kid, and that's why he lies and cheats on me. But I know that I can fix him. You know, the other day, the string to my attic, it broke off. I tried to fix it myself. So I thought, I don't need any help with this. I don't need any therapy. I don't need a third party to intervene. I can fix the string myself. What happened? I fixed that string. Jumped up to pull it down. Fell on my ass.
I did.
And almost broke my tailbone.
True story.
Again.
Fixer.
Stop feeling like you need someone to validate you. Stop feeling like it is acceptable to stay in a shitty ass relationship until something better comes along. Get the fuck out and take care of yourself. Did you see that? Something just fell behind me. Take care of you and do you. Why do we live in a society where you have to recycle? It comes along. Get the fuck out and take care of yourself. Did you see that? Something just fell.
Did you see that?
Take care of you.
That was a paranormal thing.
Why do we live in a society where you have to recycle?
Did you see that? Okay, watch. I want you to watch. It's literally a floating thing.
And take care of yourself.
Watch.
Did you see that? Something just fell behind me. Shitty ass relationship until something better comes along. Get the fuck out and take care of yourself. Did you see that? Something just fell behind me.
Yeah, see?
Take care of you and do you. Why do we live in a society where you have to recycle yourself? You recycle yourself when you jump.
Why am I talking at all about this subject matter? I dropped
my clicker. Relationship to another. There seems to be some kind of crazy ass law. Better comes along. Get the fuck out and take care of yourself. Did you see that? Something just fell behind me. Take care of you and do you. Why do we live in a society where you have to recycle yourself? You recycle yourself when you jump from one relationship. I dropped my clicker. Relationship to another. There seems to be some kind of crazy ass law that says it is unacceptable to be alone. It is unacceptable to be with your friends. It is unacceptable to just be you because you can't be you.
Kind of advice.
Oh my God, what if you had to validate yourself? Pull out, people. Stop using social media to air your grievances. It doesn't annoy me personally.
Yeah.
All it does is give me
apparently I made a video about it
and a tad bit of a giggle for the day. Everyone see this? This cat can sleep through anything. That being said, go over to Facebook and like My Weekly Meltdowns page. Go over to YouTube and subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown. I am on Instagram at
that's when I have
darling, and I'm on Twitter at Summers SOMMERS 1977. Thank you. I'll see you guys later.
Let me ask a question. Did he really sleep during that whole video?
Media.
Yeah, he did.
Facebook,
Here he is.
Relationship bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, we all have
wait, hold on though.
Department.
Yeah.
The movie and TV review stuff we just watched, but like this is, I think there's like some good stuff here. You know what I mean? Like this reminds me of like a stand-up like comic routine. Like you have like a topic that you're talking about and you're just like going on like a rant about it. And I feel like you should do that again, maybe like on TikTok or something, like a more like condensed format. But like I feel like the bones for this video are still good.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Also, I don't know if you can see this list here, and we're not going to watch. But Tyler, I'm showing you. This is the full playlist. Some of these are still public. Some of these aren't. For good reason.
Why
Because I was
do you have
going to
the Oscar Isaac folk cover of Roar?
a playlist.
My mixtape on YouTube, and Oscar Isaac actually is not only a beautiful man, he is a very he can play the guitar and sing. So I've got a mixtape. Actually, the way Jimmy Fallon is looking at Oscar Isaac is how I look at him too. So these are all like I've did Star Wars. I have the soundtrack saved. Big Brother 26. I did Bachelor in Paradise. I've been doing stuff. The live shows started here in 2018. Everything from here down, I was alone by myself. It was just me. Yeah. Yeah. But what is that's when have y'all seen the video where I broke my wrist at a Christmas party? I slid across the floor. I was not drunk. I was not. This was 2012. I was at a Christmas party, and I was hanging out with the DJ and the kids because, I end up being the babysitter. And we're all sliding across the floor on this, because we're this beautifully polished wood floor. And I thought it was a good idea to take off my go-go boots and do this in pantyhose. No one stopped me. Here it comes. You know what the best part about this video is the song playing in the background. Listen.
Now.
Drop the bomb on me is playing.
And you broke your wrist?
And I literally went behind the corner. And what the hell? It stop. Okay,
Funny or die.
Do you know what? That would have been on a Vine. That would have been a Vine video, right? Wouldn't that be a Vine? Is that where Twitter came from? I can't.
Vine just has to be 6 seconds or shorter.
Okay, not very.
But it is very Vine-like.
Yeah, I had one more thing I wanted to show, and then we'll wrap it up. But there was what was it? Something I did. It may be up at the top. It's not the retro. Ooh, look at that. My watch later's full of Pedro Pascals. We don't need to look at that. Oh, that's on there. I should have edited this first. Yeah. What are we doing, guys? There's my 80s best of list. Oh, look, remember that, Tyler? Remember that? The
Which
Last
one?
of Us. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Excuse me. Yeah, that just happened. I'm trying to find this thing real quick, and I don't know where
That Big Brother 10 rewatch was really good, and our Heroes versus Villains rewatch. I'm still very proud of those
Double Agent,
those two series that we, and our Real World Homecoming coverage. That was great.
I wish I knew why they stopped the Real World Homecoming. That just really blows my mind every time I think it. That was such a good thing that they
and they took it off of. It's like no longer on Paramount.
Yeah. So
you can't even watch it.
What a shame. What a shame. So this one we're gonna watch, and then we'll be done with it. My son's phone was going off, and he was in the middle of playing a video game, and I was like, "Dude, your phone, can you please?" It's like, "No, I left it down. I left it down there for a reason because I'm trying to get this level, and I don't, And I'm like, "Well, your girlfriend's trying to call." He's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna tell her I was taking a nap." I was like, "You're going to tell her you were taking a nap?" And then I don't know why it took me until I was 38 years old to understand that people lied to you via text message about what they were really doing. So this was like a thing for me. I went into this deep diving abyss of just like, people lie. when they're texting you? Yes, and this is terrible. This is so bad.
Welcome to My Weekly Meltdown. I am Allison, and tonight I'm going to address something I like to call text lies. Have you ever sent a text to someone and hours go by and they don't bother to respond, and when they do, it's some kind of excuse that they've pulled out of their ass? Well, I'm going to break that down for you tonight. And first, I want to tell you what inspired me to do this. About a year ago, my son was in the middle of one of these PlayStation 4 Grand Theft Halo and the Call of Duty games, and his girlfriend was texting him. And I kept telling him, dude, your phone's blowing up. What is going on? And he says, oh, that's just so-and-so. She's trying to get in touch
Final
with
Fantasy,
me.
Halo, Grand Theft Auto. I don't know.
When this is over. I said, text her when this is over. What do you mean? And he says, I'll just take care of it. I'll just tell her that I was taking a nap. Taking a nap. Do you know how many times I've been told, sorry, I didn't get your text message because I was taking a nap? I was taking a nap and the phone fell on the floor face down, and I didn't hear it vibrate because of the carpet. Whatever. So I decided at that moment that I was going to start recording excuses that I've heard people use. And I have
research
to say,
that went into this video, you will never understand
about all of these. And of course, I've never used any of myself because I'm a perfect little angel. Okay, so here are some of the excuses. Number one, I dropped my phone. Okay, you dropped your phone. What does that mean?
Pick it up.
Oh, I dropped it, and for some reason, I'm not getting texts or messages from certain people. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy considering the fact that your phone doesn't have a mind of its own, and I don't think it is capable to select which people.
No, it's on Allison mode.
To
you have silent mode, and you have Allison.
Sorry, just me.
That's what I call it now, Allison.
I let someone use my phone, and they didn't tell me that I had a message.
Oh, I let someone use my
what
phone.
Alternate universe do you live in where you let someone use your phone and they don't bother to go, hey, you got a text message, bro? Also, who are you letting use your phone? Who doesn't have a phone?
Yeah,
everybody has a phone.
Everyone has a phone.
Also, you don't even have to have a phone to get messages. 5-year-olds play with their parents' iPads.
So you got a message.
Go, Mama, you got a message. So no.
Look, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. My grandson is 3.5, and when my phone rings and Gigi, here, your phone. Really? This one gets me all the time. You don't understand the research I went into doing. Look at this face. That is a serious woman on a mission. All these excuses had been used on me, and I was actually really angry about this, but I wasn't, I was restraining myself for some reason. I understand, probably because I didn't want the wrinkles in my forehead to get any more out of control. This was pre-Botox, by the way. It's so, I was just like I look like a chipmunk. But anyway, I was so rattled. This just rocked my whole world. You guys don't know. I would get on these tangents about things. This took me a week to put together. I want you to let that simmer in your pot.
You researched for a week for all of the backdated lies.
Yes, I did.
Hell yeah.
I didn't have my phone.
That is
all
the biggest pile of shit ever. Right.
Liar.
There's
nothing else I can say other than liar. I'm not even going to entertain this one with
Allison.
anything. You're just a liar.
Yeah.
You didn't have your liar. Period. Into that discussion.
Idiot.
I was busy all day. Yeah, you weren't too busy to post on Facebook how this day is never ending and it's going by so slow. I hate talking on the phone. Bitch, I didn't call you. I texted you. Maybe I don't like to talk on the phone either. At least get your life straight. I typed a reply, but I forgot to hit send.
Okay, I do this.
Okay, I've totally.
I do this.
But not,
all the
okay,
time.
I'm guilty. So what? My phone died. I'm sorry, this excuse went down with the Titanic. Furthermore, you can pretty much charge your phone anywhere and everywhere. Freaking
McDonald's.
Walgreens and Walmart have them right up there at the register. It's little rinky-dink little car chargers and pretty much
can charge your phone at
everything else that you
McDonald's.
possibly need to charge your phone. There's no excuse. Starbucks has an outlet.
Thank you.
Everywhere has an outlet. I ate lunch at Taco Bell today, and right there at the little bar place that you can sit in, there was plugins. Plugins at Taco Bell. I was in the shower. God forbid anyone in your family ever dies, because that excuse is going to go over really well.
Fish.
I was driving in my car, safety first. Okay, well, you weren't thinking about safety when you were blazing down the interstate, taking a picture of that cool Trans Am and posting it on Twitter.
Trans Am. 1982.
Trans Ams? Do they really? I don't know. I just never got it. Sorry. Really? Because that red receipt that you haven't bothered to turn off on your phone claims you read that shit. It was too loud. It was way too loud where I was to respond to your text. What does sound have to do with typing? Oh, I thought that text was from last week. I really have nothing for this one at all. I mean, why?
Why?
Oh, snap. I responded to someone else. So when that person responded and said wrong person, shouldn't you have immediately sent the text to the right person? Sorry, I was playing Boom Beach.
Oh, I hate that one.
I can't really say anything bad about this one because at least you're being fucking honest.
My husband used to.
I had to go to the ER. Well, why didn't you take a picture? Because you take a picture of your fucking food on Instagram all the time, so you can't take a picture of the ER and post that shit?
Winner.
I don't even know where to go.
I'm winning.
I didn't pay my phone bill. Really? Because you had time to post something on Facebook about fantasy football from your phone. You know how I know? Because it had the little phone icon up in the little corner. Okay, well, these are just a few that I've heard people use.
Just a few.
Me. So I just wanted to help you guys out. If people are sending you
the immediate tone shift as well. Well, these are just a few.
Chances are really don't want to talk to you, and they really don't give a crap. I mean, seriously, really, it takes whatever. With that being said, I hope you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in your life. You're so happy you can hardly stand it, and you have a choice to make, my friends. Just ask yourself, are you the text message or are you the response?
Which one are you?
Self-destruct sequence.
That's enough of that. I'm sweating. I was just laughing because back in those times, I was My Weekly Meltdown has kind of, like I said, the last 6, 7, 8 months have been very slow for us, but it's coming back. It's going to come back around, but because everybody's had life and things happening. But this was back at a time where this is all I had going on, seriously. And I would cover American Horror Story, The Walking Dead, The Bachelor, whatever was on during the week. Big Brother. I sometimes would do shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I wouldn't do on Friday. And I would do something special on the weekend, and I was trying to stick true to what I promised, which really doesn't matter. Because, when people like a show, they're going to stick to what they like about you. They may not like it when I talk about Big Brother, but they like it when I talk about Survivor. You know what I mean? There's shows I listen to.
Different
I don't
audiences.
like it. Different things. You're never going to tap the vein of the same person. So, I really put, it really sounds like I don't put any effort into it now, but I do. Something about going live. When I started going live, I actually liked it better at that time, because what you have to understand is I was already 3.5 years into this, and I'd been making my scripts. I have saved notebooks in my closet. I've never thrown away any of my early notes. I kept them all in a box to kind of in the printouts. I have the original printouts. They'll go in the Allison Allison Museum, brought to you by Verbal Justice. And and just kind of to show this is where it all started. But anyway, yeah. So I had so many ideas, and I need to get those books out and look at the ideas I had, because I would just be having a conversation with someone and they would bring up something and I'm like, "What? Are you kidding?" Like the whole saving names in the phone under different genders and names. And, then there was this whole thing about, well, they delete, there's no, that message didn't happen because I didn't see it. And they must have deleted it. And it's like, oh, well, do you check their trash? I'm like, why would I check their trash? They deleted it off their phone. Why would it be in their trash? I'm like, Allison, not their fucking trash can.
Did you check the trash? You go into the dumpster.
Trash, the deleted bin on the fucking phone. That's because I'm being 100%. This is how I've been my entire life, because I've always trying to see the good in people. I never think about that part of stuff. Like I never thought about the trash, deleted stuff. Like I thought it just went away. In Gmail, it does after 30 days. Why wouldn't that go away too? And stuff like that. So, I don't know. So the text lies blew my mind, and, relationships and stuff. And plus, my son was started dating and was asking me questions. We would take him to the movies, and God, I hate, I used to sit through Twilight when it came out. And my husband was like, well, dude, you better get used to sitting through movies like this, because chicks love it, And his name was Jacob. So he was also in another level of hell that none of us could relate to as far as Twilight goes. I had a black t-shirt that said Team Jacob. I was not allowed to wear it because my son was like, Mom, that does not mean what you think it does.
I've still never seen Twilight, except for the last one that I watched with you guys.
We watched the final Twilight when I was in New York 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago? Yeah.
And that's Rory, the only Twilight movie I've seen. It's the very last one.
Tyler is so funny.
No context for anything.
He had no idea. The fake baby, all of it. He was pointing out things I'd never even thought about. He's like, this is a cult. He's like, this is a cult. She's in a cult. The Cullens are a cult. And I'm like, oh my God, that's how gullible, because I'm not thinking these vampires are a cult. I'm like, they just Bella loves the dude.
I just felt so bad for like her poor father. Like,
oh God.
Like he is like trying to like save her from this like cult and just be a part of normal society. She's like, no, I've been imprinted on. And my daughter, Renesmee,
which still to me sounds like a
so
sneeze. Renesmee.
Bless
I mean,
yeah.
I've always kind of wondered, there's so many diehard Twilight fans out there, and it's so funny to me how many people named their cats Renesmee back then, and their babies and whatever. And, it is funny. The reason why I went by Kitty Litter on Mimnash Radio was because I did not want to be the cat lady. I got tired of being called the cat lady. They dragged me all over the place about my cats. And I said, man, I'll be the cat lady on the show, but man, I just can't be called the cat lady. That's, now I don't give a shit. But so they started calling me Kitty Litter. And in hindsight, I would have much rather been called cat lady than something that they shit on and scratch. Because that's another thing. I have tons of videos of my cats crapping in the background of my shows, and it'll be quiet, and all of a sudden you hear oh wait, missed one. So you know what I'm talking about, Tyler. I don't. In my townhouse, Finley's cat box was almost right next to my desk, and we would be in the middle of something, and all of a sudden, I'd be like, "Oh, he took a shit." But anyway, so got to start somewhere, and we'll do more of these. I don't know what people
Question
really
to round like. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, because I don't really know. I'm trying to figure out normally people have formats figured out. 10 years into this.
We're trying to land the plane here. Yeah. So like, how do you feel about like this milestone for you and for My Weekly Meltdown? Like 10 years is amazing. And like, what do you hope to achieve in the next 10 years with this channel? Like, reflect a little bit for us to end off the show.
The next 10. Holy shit. I better have made it on a show by then. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do. No, I honestly, I've had people in my life say, I can't believe you're still doing that. Like, people really, not to be ugly. They just, you're still doing that? I didn't know you were doing that anymore. And, they thought it was just a hobby or. Huh?
I said it's a creative outlet for you.
Yeah, and it's like I said, people have asked me like, what made you want to do this? Well, I've been entertaining people my entire life. During, I've done acting, I've been in improv groups, I've done almost everything you could possibly. I did stand up. I've done a lot of stuff, and doing this has kind of made me happier than I've ever been. Believe it, as I'm talking about it, like, get over it. It makes me happy. Okay. I was such a snot when I started. But yeah, people are always like, I forgot you even did that. You're still doing that? And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it for 10 years. And it's funny because at your wedding, Tyler, I was sitting next to, I'm gonna, here we go. You hear that? That's a name I'm about to drop. I was sitting next to, hold on, Sarah Rice. There you go. There's that name I just dropped. From, the Challenge of Real World. No beef. She asked me about my podcast, the show, and said, well, how long have you been doing that? And I said 10 years. And Susie was talking to Beth across the table, and she heard that and stopped. And she and Sarah both looked at each other, and they both went like in unison, 10 years? And I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, they're like, that's dedication. And, the thing for me is I didn't start doing this channel to be famous. I didn't start doing this, obviously. I didn't start doing this channel for anything other than to have a creative outlet and to put a smile on someone's face. And if that's one person watching or three, like there's 3 people, we went from 3 to 1 watching. That's my goal. When it starts not being fun, I don't want to do it. So the breaks are necessary. Pumping the brakes is necessary. If I had a full staff that I could pay and do, this full time as a job, yeah, this would be different. I got real burnt out the first 3 years doing everything. Oh my God. If I showed y'all some of the stuff, crazy stuff that I did, it was so time consuming. And it was actually Deb and Phelan who said, why don't you do a live show? Why do you always record it? Why don't you just do it live? Maybe let some people ask you some questions. And I'm like, I don't think anyone wants to know it. So I tested the waters on Facebook, and I did a Celebrity Big Brother, the first Celebrity Big Brother that they did 7 years ago. And I did a Facebook Live. And that was actually, fun fact, I was about to shut this shit down in early 2018 because I was told by somebody I just really shouldn't have listened to that if it takes 3 years to build a YouTube channel. and you've been doing it long enough that it's not going to get any traction. You're going to have to change everything. And I was like, what do you mean? I said, you're going to have to wipe it, take everything off and start over from scratch. And that was when the reformatting of live came into it, which I'm glad I listened as far as that was concerned. But I was so down on myself because I didn't know, like I said, I had to teach myself everything. And I was really down. I was kind of, I was maybe 3 months into my full sobriety at that time. So I was still a baby and being sober, and I just was struggling. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore in 2008. I was like, I really don't know. And I got an instant message from an old friend of mine, Elizabeth Bowers, I used to work with. And I don't even know if she knows this, but she kind of saved this whole channel because she's like, hey, I've kind of been waiting for you to talk about this celebrity Big Brother. And I'm sitting there in a bathrobe. And if you go watch that video, I'm in the bathrobe because I saw that on my phone and I got up off my ass and I went and with my shitty ass original ring light I had, holy crap, that thing blinded the fuck out of me. And it was big as my living room, like a flying saucer in my house. And I filmed, and I don't think I would have done it. So this very well could have never have happened. I mean, I probably never would have met Tyler or Rory or anybody. So, there, people will tell you things sometimes, and yes, it's discouraging and whatnot. And then every once in a while you get a quick blessing, and it's like somebody was keeping me in check because I bounced my own check and I had money in the bank. So it's okay to be defeated. I'm going to end it on this. Whatever your dream is, and I will say little 5-year-old Allison was not dreaming about doing this. Okay. But whatever your dream is, whatever you want to do, it takes time, and just do it. There's going to be people that say negative things, and that's okay. It's what you feel in your heart and what you want to do. Just do it. You never know who's going to come into your life. I got Tyler out of it. I got Beth. I got Rory. I got Tim. I got Sora. I got all these people. And I'm very grateful for it. So, I had someone tell me one time when I was covering The Walking Dead, I asked this guy, okay, I'll be honest, it was the guy that was covering The Walking Dead, okay? And he was another podcaster, and we were talking about it, and he just brought up, hey, if you want to post links to your channel on my page, I got a lot of traction, I'll let you do that. He goes, because you need the likes. You need the following. He's like, because you're not cutting it. How long you been doing this? And I said 3 years. And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's got to be all about the likes for you. And I'm like, it's not though. He goes, that's the problem. And I immediately was like, I don't agree with that. It's not about the likes. Hello, Mary Duda 444. How are you doing? Look, there's a new function. If you can see, we can see the chats live right
chat.
there.
That's cool.
I turned that on today.
I love that.
Yeah, I thought I would try it tonight. But hello, Mary. I hope you're doing great. Thank you for tuning in. This is a recap show of my early days of recapping. And I just want to point out, this show is not all about me. Yes, the first few years it was me, but it has evolved, and it is about Tyler as well. And Tyler has been my backbone through a lot of this. Tyler's picked me up when I haven't wanted to do this, and damn it, Allison, do you want to? Well, he hasn't said that, but I feel it in his head. God damn, she's gonna cancel. I feel it. She's stuck on a burp and stumped her toe. She's not gonna do a show tonight. I feel it, Tim. It's that kind of stuff. But no, we get down on ourselves, and we really have to lift each other up, especially in the midsection of Big Brother coverage. I don't want to do a live show feedback. Why? Oh, thank you so much. Did we discuss Survivor 50? Okay, so Mary Duda, we're going to do a separate show dedicated to the Survivor 50 cast. Now, real quick, Tyler, where are we with that cast? Because they got on planes. They're getting on planes tomorrow, right?
Yes. So tune into CBS Mornings tomorrow from I think 8 to 9 a.m. or 9 to 10, like just whatever their like CBS morning show is. And Jeff Probst is going to present the cast of Survivor 50 officially. However, we pretty much already know like who's going to be on the cast. So we're going to do a show like at some point within the next week or so with Beth to not to draft anything yet, because like we don't know if like some of these people are like alternates. You know, there's like 24 names out there, so we don't know if all 24 are playing. That would be a first for Survivor. So we're just gonna like say here's the cast and just kind of like spitball our like first impressions. There's some good ones, there's some not so good ones, so a lot to go over, but yeah, I just want a show to just like for us to just like ramble about like why the hell is Jerry Manthe not on this list? Questions like that.
Well, Tyler, it's like the first 10 years of Survivor never happened. Or the first 15 years. I mean, I'm serious. There's a lot of this is just can I just be honest?
Weird.
I think that this should have been split up in half. I think it should have been people from 1 through 24 and people from 1 through 48. Sorry, 25 through 48. I think you would have gotten more people if you'd split it up, because then you could have had Survivor 50 and 51 back to back of these, all-stars, whatever. But I think
Elizabeth Hasselbeck was like in the mix for this. Amanda Kimmel, Jonathan Penner just like tweeted out that he got cut like pretty last minute. Abby Maria, like all these like old school, like kind of like bigger names for some random duds. It would be one thing if like the modern Survivor, like the best of the best of modern Survivor, like Shan, Carolyn, Jesse, who else? Like none of them are like on this list either. So like the modern era names that they have are kind of weird too. So I don't know. I could go into this for like the next hour, so we will save it for like a dedicated show in like a week or so.
As soon as that is released officially, we will have a show for y'all at least by a week from today, because that we've got to do that. That's going to be big.
Yeah, and we'll do a draft at like a later point. But
we just want to talk about it. That's all we want to do. As far as Big Brother's concerned,
itching to talk about it.
Yeah, as far as Big Brother's concerned, and I know you're not itching to talk about that. I'm joking.
No, I'm like very, Survivor 48 was like one of my least favorite seasons, like ever. I'm so glad we're not covering it on a weekly basis anymore. But Big Brother, I'm like pretty thumbs up on lately. Big Brother 26 was amazing.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for it.
Is it July 10th? Is that when it starts? Something like that. July 10th is when. Yes, we will be back for Big Brother coverage.
Yeah, July 10th.
The Survivor. We will be covering Survivor 50. That has to be done. I don't care. That has to be done. And this is what I was talking about earlier. We have to enjoy these shows that we watch. And after a while, it's rinse, repeat with Survivor. I love Survivor, but I'm so done with freaking hidden immunity idols. I have a freaking heart. I am so high strung by 9:30 Central or 8:30 Central every freaking Wednesday, because, oh my God, how many damn hidden immunity idols are going to pull out of their butts this week? And I love the fact that we get to vote on whether or not they get to have such luxuries in 50. Personally,
I'm rewatching Survivor All-Stars right now, and there are no idols, there are no advantages. And there's a lot of drama on that season. Like, it's very good. Just trust your cast. That's what I always say. Trust your cast.
Say trust your cat.
I would never trust a cat.
But yes,
They're
thank
evil.
you. I'm telling you, I'm Miss Kitty Litter, and I tell you, they are freaking evil.
See?
My husband said I'm not a pussy magnet.
Oh.
No, my husband said I try to be a pussy magnet. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And because Daisy has an attitude, and she only, when she wants attention, she comes to you. So he sent me a video about how some people try too hard to be a pussy magnet. He's like, you need to ignore her. Stop trying to be a pussy magnet. And I'm like, I never in my life thought I would ever be referred to as a pussy magnet. On that note,
I don't know what to say to that.
Pussy magnet. Yeah, I wish they split up Survivor all into two, because it's getting to where you could have one person from each season and you'd have 50 fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh, by the way, Trump pardoned the Chrisleys. For anyone out there, the Chrisleys knows best. Todd Chrisley, you know who I'm talking about? Got pardoned today. So you know what that means? There's hope for Tiger King. There's hope for Joe Exotic. I was talking to my husband and I go, oh my God, that means he's going to get out. Tiger King's going to get out. Anyway, guys, we'll be back for another greatest hits video sometime next week's. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown. You'll get notifications when we go live. And I'm very proud of where this channel is. I'm very proud that 10 years in, I'm still happy doing it. And I never sold out. And don't think I hadn't been made offers. But this is my show. This is our show. We're in this together. And I'm not answering to anybody. I want to be able to say the word cunt on my show, and it's okay. And pussy magnet.
All right. Everybody have a great rest of your day, week, and we'll see you when we see you. Whenever that part 2 happens. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.